recently I was in the market for a new advent calendar, but I wanted to make it. And I stumbled across this lovely business here, Studio Jepson. I think I found her on Etsy, but she does have her own website and she does sell on her website and on her Etsy, and excellent service. Honestly, I ordered it at I think it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I did notice that it said anything ordered before 2 p.m. would be sent out the same day. Wasn't expecting it. I was thinking and you know, it's August. I don't need this in any rush. That's fine. I just wanted to get on top of things because I'm always thinking about Christmas, let's be honest. And yeah. So the next day it arrived, and it was all lovely and really beautifully packaged in tissue paper and some baker's twine. Big fan of baker's twine. I am a real big fan of baker's twine. Red and white, beautiful, right up my street. There's some bias binding for when I get to the end. So you've got the backing well, not the backing fabric. This is technically the backing fabric and the wadding to get all this. Oh, it's all falling over. But you get... But isn't this something rather special? Isn't it beautiful? So you get... So what I think I have to do is I have to cut off... I misunderstood the instructions. So I've looked at Studio Jepson's blog and it explains it more clearly. Because when you read the instructions that are printed on it, I thought that it meant I had to cut down these lines and got very confused as to how I was meant to pinch it together. But you don't. You cut along here and you sew, and I think you sew this, but you've got to somehow pleat it, but I iron it in a specific way. So I will show you. I won't show you what to do because I am no seamstress. Will people please stop texting me? It's a bit rude. Oh god, I've got loads of texts. Right, turn you off. So I'll take you on the journey of sewing it, because I think that might be quite a fun thing to do. Don't you think? Peace out. I also now realise that I haven't done anything to do with fabric for a good 12 months. Next month, it'll be 11 months. Next month was the last time I did any sewing. Last year, that makes sense. So September last year. How do you do it? I've got these £5 scissors from Hobbycraft I bought years ago. That's probably a bit enough. See if it works. Also, to stop me from staring at my phone, because I am me, although I am allowed to make stories, because why not? I'm going to do a whole hour. What is the time now? Oh my god, it's 4:30. When did it become 4:30? Okay. I can have 30 minutes then, because I haven't cooked dinner yet. I need to cook my lunches for the week as well. So I have 30 minutes. I give myself 30 minutes of sewing time. I think that's fair. And all that's left on the to-do list after start sewing advent calendar is wine. No, I've done that. Watch a Kirsty handmade Xmas. Make my lunches and make dinner. Well, yeah, that seems doable. So I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. I'm going to put it on the cube timer. So what I do, I just turn it on. Okay, let's turn it on. Oh, now it's on 60 minutes. But I want 30. So just flip it over so that the 30 is on the top. And it counts down from 30. And that's what I do. I might make a story though of me doing it because I'm addicted. I should also mention that I am currently wearing a pyjama top because a bit on the hormonal side today, and I wanted to wear something baggy, but I still want free arms because all my baggy jumpers and clothes have big baggy arms, and thus, never mind. Now I just need to check the instructions because I've already forgotten what I'm supposed to do. So, but no, that's reporting a COVID test. Yeah. Cut along the 5 long pocket strips following the dashed. There aren't. I don't have dash lines on mine. Do other people get them? Because I don't. Oh God. How am I going to cut mine? Oh no. So you got to cut it. Huh? Because my dash lines are down the middle. What does my instructions say? Cut out back panel following the outer edge of the red seam allowance. Cut out the pocket strips around the outer edge of the red seam allowance. So these bits? Is that what that means? But then if I do that, then I lose that. Hers is different to mine. Why does she get to have a different one? So she's cutting. So she's leaving these strips here clear. Is that what it is? Do not cut the strips into individual pockets. Oh, okay. Hers is different. So her back panel is a mirror image of the number panel. Her front panel. That's why I'm getting confused. That's why hers looks different to mine. Right. Because the example used on the website is different. So it's all windows. And mine's just nice, pretty red and white, Christmassy. Very lovely, actually. I love it. I love red. Like, Christmas to me is red and white on a backing of green. Okay. So I've got to cut the strips along with dashed lines, which are probably in red on a red background, so I can't see. Oh man, I've got to get the iron out. Using an iron, press a 1/4 inch turning along the top edge of each pocket. Oh God. Oh no, because you can just use those lines when folding it. She says. Oh no, it's getting bad, isn't it? I'll give it a go. I might have to actually do some ironing. so after reading further into the instructions, I was playing with it and just being like, so it will look like this, so I have to fold this here. Then I have to box pleat this side. Oh, that's quite simple. Now I need to box pleat this side. Oh wait, where does the square end? On these squares, pocket squares, very, very clear. But these ones, oh my god, how do you know where the picture ends? Oh my god. So I think what I'm going to have to do is find out what this measurement is here. I'm guessing it's quarter of a quarter of an inch. And then measure quarter of an inch here and then makes a line somewhere with maybe one of those pens that disappear. The ink disappears over time. So that I can then box pleat it, because I don't know how I'm going to do it otherwise. It's going to be nigh on impossible, I think. But we shall see. Can you see me? Probably about this time last year, because that was the last time I did any sewing, I did a little joke thing, say, on the grams, on my stories, of like, hello and welcome to Pinning Fabric with Amy. Today we're going to pin this fabric to that fabric. And then joked about how I was going to have, then just made a joke about it being a regular feature. And I remember like 2 or 3 people said, yes, please. And I was like, well, the public have spoken. I never did do it again because I haven't done any sewing since. But I'm going to resurrect it for the old vlog. So hello. We're just going to have a little chat because I need to tell you about why we are mashing 2 weeks together. So I don't know, I can't really remember, I don't know what I've said in previous videos to today's recording, because today, also if you were unaware, today is Tuesday the 31st, and I think the last time I recorded was probably Thursday last week, because I think I remember recording just before I started cooking some bolognese to put in a slow cooker, and I'm pretty sure I did that on Thursday. Right, don't put pins in your mouth, people. It's a dirty habit. So last week was an interesting week for me. I ended up doing a great deal of overtime on very little sleep because I couldn't sleep because I was worrying about what I was going to have to do the next day. I was worrying about what time I'd then get home the next day. I'm worrying if I could get stuff in, and when I worry, when I'm anxious, when I'm really honestly am worried and anxious, I don't eat unless it's chocolate. And all I was craving all week was chocolate brownie, gingerbread chocolate brownie to be precise. It was painful. So it was an interesting week of me trying to stop myself from eating rubbish food, but then when it came to good food, I didn't want to eat it. I was just eating awful food. Lots of cheese though, so I don't feel bad about the cheese. So that's what happened last week. Amy's brain melted and fell out of her ears. That's what happened, and didn't get much sleep. And me on not much sleep is not a fun person to know. I wouldn't recommend it. I can be hungover and tired. I'll be fine because it's hilarious to me. Don't know why. I don't know what that says about my psyche, but I'd rather not know. Yeah. So that's another strip. Oh, by the way, I am pinning pleats. If you were unaware, in my advent calendar. I haven't actually said what I'm pinning, have I? So I'm just pinning the pleats so that when I iron, like I'm using glass beaded pins, but when I iron, I can just stick the iron on top and iron the pleats in. And then what I'm going to do, because I'm fancy and I am ignoring the instructions which are printed on, you get the instructions on the fabric. I will probably, hopefully, if I remember, link below where I bought the kit. It was really cool. And it says, from what I can gather from the instructions, is that you sew down these two things that you've pleated. And to me, why are you going through the faff of pleating if you're not going to use the gusset that the pleat forms? This is what I don't understand. The instructions tell you to just iron it and then sew down each side. I think it's just sewed that way. So you don't have to cut out each individual square and sew each individual square on. It's like a cheap way of doing that, and I think this is kind of sort of not marketed at children, but it is a kit that children could do. I mean, mine is probably a more grown up pattern. I have seen like more sort of childish patterns. Does that make sense? Probably not. I'm probably insulting people right now, but who cares? So what I'm going to do, because I have ignored the pattern already by doing an actual decent hem, because their hem they wanted you to do was just fold it up and sew. So you've still got a raw edge. No, I want this. This is advent calendar I want to last for years. And oh no, that has no. See, I've seen now that I've already messed it up there. But never mind. There is a raw edge, but it's tucked up. It's fine. Oh dear, maybe. But I decided to do a double hem, in where you fold. So what I did was I ironed the hem and then that gave me a fold line. So then I folded the hem in half and then round, so that I could have the raw edge tucked up in here, and hopefully when you sew you catch it. But I have just noticed there is a place where I haven't caught it in my stitching. But I want this to last for a long time, you know. I want this to be used. You know, I'm not just making it for 1 year. And to me, a raw edge is potentially that can unravel and look scruffy and tatty and horrible. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going for it. But also, I don't like the idea of going through this faff of making box pleats and then not utilising them. So, oh, I think the door's just gone. Ugh, it's just those stupid people that come around with a bag and they try and sell you cleaning products. Like, I get it from the supermarket like a normal person. Right, I've got a train of thought now. So my plan, I don't know what I've said and what I haven't said, is to, when it comes to it, I'm gonna iron these flat, these box pleats. Then I'm gonna sew the bottom hem onto the back panel, which is sat in front of me here, covered in fabric strips. So I'm going to sew that onto the backing fabric, and then when it comes to it, I'm going to pull the pleats slightly ajar so I can then sew down that centre dotted line, and it's going to give me essentially a gusset to the pocket. So it's going to give it a little bit of extra wiggle room, so it can then, like, you can put maybe slightly bigger sweet in it. You know, so it's got a little bit more wiggle room, and it might be able to just take a little bit more kind of people putting their hands in and taking stuff out is the idea. And I've also got I'm also wondering if I can fit my green lambkin mini skein advent calendar in there, because that would be really cool if I could. And then I could have that, and then I could put sweets in there, and then we can have just a wonderful Christmas time, because I spend my entire life making the month of December super special. I love Christmas. I think it's the best time of year. Why not? And I like making things to make it special, and I like making things full stop, but I really like making Christmas things because it just makes it just all that much more just nice and special. And I don't know, you can call me strange, most people do. That's why I call myself odd, for Oddknits. It's not why. There is a ridiculous story as to the real reason why, but I'm not going into it because it's just, you know, it's the story of hopes and dreams destroyed. We don't want to talk about that. This is a happy place. And yeah, so the week that I've had, I just want to chill out and do this. I just wondered if maybe you want to sit with me. I've also got a cake downstairs that needs icing. I've bought loads of sweets to throw on top of it, because originally I was going to make gingerbread to go on top, because why not? But do we need cake and gingerbread? I mean, of course we do. We always need cake and gingerbread, but I can make gingerbread next week. I love gingerbread. It's my most favourite thing in the entire world. I could make gingerbread and put it in the advent calendar. How amazing! Because I've got some tiny little cutters. Ooh, I do have some tiny little I do have tiny little Christmas cutters. Ooh, that will make some interesting biscuits, I think. And if I ice them, I think they have better shelf life if they're iced, because the icing helps. I better actually research how long gingerbread lasts. It does last a long time. It's quite a dry biscuit. And when you put the icing on, the icing makes it soft. Anyway, in our house we have conflicting emotions on our gingerbread. I like my gingerbread to be crispy on the outside but really soft in the middle. My boyfriend just likes soft gingerbread. I think it's better soft than crunchy, but I like it crunchy on the outside, so you get a nice crunch, but then the middle of the biscuit is nice and soft. But you know, I'm odd. That's what, yeah. So I have reclaimed the name Odd. I am Oddknits, in case you were wondering. I am Oddknit. Oddknit and Her Adventures, or as I became Oddknit Adventures. It's just my full name now. It's just one of those things, it just becomes part of you. We've had an absolute myriad of conversations, but yeah. But going backwards to random people that knock on your door trying to sell you something. Do you honestly think that you're going to sell anything? Really? People hate being disturbed at home. If I want something, I'll go out and look for it. Do you know what I mean? I don't wait for it to come to me. If I want something, I go out and look for it. So I had it a couple of weeks ago when knocked on my door. To waffle on that I should change energy providers and all this. It's like, oh, go away. Do you know what? We checked it a while ago, and everyone's pretty much the same, aren't they? It doesn't really make much difference. And then when I looked into it, and she was like, oh, you'll be surprised, it's British Gas. Looked into it. I looked at her lanyard. Blooming British Gas written on her lanyard. Oh, that's convenient. Yeah, you gotta wake up a bit earlier than that, love, to fool me. But yeah, if I want something, I'll go out and buy it. I don't wait for an energy provider to knock on my door. Honestly, I don't get some people. I really don't. And you hear all these stories about people getting burgled by people that do that as well. So just no. Well, that's me. I'm quite quirky today. I need a bit of cheering up. I've been in that kind of mood for a while now. So I'm doing what I think works for cheering me up, which is crafting, doing like a craft that is slightly different from the norm. So not knitting, not crochet. Something that uses a little bit more brain power, takes my mind off of the world. I've baked a massive cake that I'm going to cover with chocolate. I bought some mini, what are they called? Mini orange segments, Terry's chocolate orange, crunchy, like chocolate buttons with bits of crunchy in them, and magic stars. You can't go wrong with a bit of magic stars. And then I'm just going to scatter it over the cake and enjoy when I get around to making it, well, decorate it. Well, thank you so much for joining me whilst I pinned the fabric. It went actually quite quickly. Didn't realise it wasn't going to take that long. So I'm going to iron it. And I suppose I could do the ham now. I could pin the ham. I don't necessarily think I need to iron that. Or I could iron it after I've pinned it so it's clear. Maybe I'll do that. So, thanks. Cheer, bye. More than a feeling. Oh, we've got pins loose. Oh, I've gone through probably too many layers. I've gone through all the layers. Yes, she has. all of the safety pins. All of the safety pins. I've got all of the safety pins. All of the safety pins. I've got big ones and small ones. Big ones and small ones. Na na na. Walking away. Hey. You know when you watch Little Drops of Wonderful and This Little Wonderful Life vlogs, and Ali says things like, don't sing on the vlog, don't sing on the vlog, and yeah. What was I just doing? Oops. Oh no! God, where'd that come from there? So much. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh no! Oh, it's fine. Oh, I've done it again. FML. Right. That's all the outside done. You scoundrel. No, I need. That's the hem. It's the hem, yeah, wee. What's it? How has this got creased since I ironed it last night? How is that even possible? I haven't done anything with it. Apart from lay it. Yeah, I'm going to just do it creased. You did once, didn't you? Well, that is just uncanny that I have the exact right of safety pins that were all attached together. Oh no, I'm one short actually. I'm one short to do it in the way that I want to do it. That's fine, we can live with that. Once I've caught at the bottom half, I can always move them up. That'll do, not that fuss. Or am I that fuss? I don't know, I've never really caught with anything before. I feel like I should be. Oh, I can always pull it. I'll do that bit. But I don't want to pull it, because if I pull it, it misshapes that bit. That's the issue, isn't it? It's where the it's where pins are. It's where pins are. It's where it is. The creases. Oh well, who cares? I'll probably find it once it's done anyway. Oh, you scoundrel. So I take it I quilt before I trim. But yeah. So this is how we're looking. So we have the pockets pinned in place, the box pleats pinned in place, pinned onto the front panel, and we've got wadding, and then we've got the back panel. How exciting. Oh, it looks so pretty. So what I'm going to do is sew down here and then all the way along the bottom, and then what I'm going to do is open up the pleat and sew the middle of the pleat to the middle of these two squares here, and hopefully that will give me just a little bit of wiggle room. It's only going to give me this much space here, but it might be the difference between me fitting a chocolate in here and a mini skein, which to me is an important difference. So there we are. Woohoo! I bought a couple of these Cadbury's Puds. I think they got like a hazelnut truffle, hazelnut truffle filling and milk chocolate. But unfortunately, you can only fit one. And it's in the pocket. I can't fit two. So we might just have to like put it under. Where's number 24? There. We might have to have them on separate days. But yeah, I've got an abundance of chockies and sweets and things. I'm just going to fill it up with it, and anything that's left over will go into my mum and dad's one. That's the plan. Anything left over from that I'll probably just take to work and hand out to people. But yeah, so I've got these. I've only got these. I think my dad would appreciate these. Salted caramel. Ooh. And my mum loves dark chocolate, so I've got her extra dark. My boyfriend really likes the milk ones, so I've got them. And then these were on offer, which I think are probably the Galaxy. Oh no, they are different. They're not quite the same as mint, are they? They're milk chocolate with a gorgeous velvety truffle centre. I thought that they might fit in the advent calendar quite nicely. Very pretty. And then I just got a couple of these little snowman and Malteser reindeer because, you know, you've got to. So yeah, I think I might just fill it up. I know it's only October, but otherwise I've got to hide these from my boyfriend. Whereas I can just put them in my advent calendar and then I can hide my advent calendar and it's done. I just like to be organised. Oh yeah, and I also bought these. I think my mum might appreciate these. These little green and black chocolates. I'm actually thinking about it now. I might give one of them to my friend from work. It's her birthday at the end of this month. That might be a good idea. Okay, that might. Did that on a pin. A pin!